In this video, we will talk about classes versus records. And the agenda of this video to understand the difference between classes and records and why we need records. And we will look for these questions by practical implementation and with complete example. So kindly stay with me till the end of this video. First, I will create a class named person, and this person class will hold the data of the persons. And here we will have two attributes called private string name and private int age. And now let's go and create a record here, and I will create one record called person record. And now we have a record, and here I will say string name and int age. So this record will hold the data of the person record with two attributes called name and age. And now in our main class, let's create an object of this person class. I will say person, and I will say person1, and here I will say person. Okay, but to assign the values to the attributes of this person class, we need a constructor and we need a canonical constructor. So we will generate a canonical constructor here. And now I will go in our main class, and here I will assign the values, like I will say John, and age will be 32. Okay, and now I will generate a person record object here, and I will say person record 1, and I will say new person record, and here I will pass the name John and age 32. Okay, let's change the name of the object, like I will say Mike, and his age will be 35. So if you see the difference, that in our person record we didn't generate the canonical constructor, it is provided by default, but in our person class we generate a canonical constructor. Now let's go in our main class, and now I will to print the object called, I will print person1, and also I will copy paste this one, and I will print person1 person record 1. Okay, so now if I execute the code, so as you can see, the person1, it prints the memory address of this object, but the person record, it print the values of the object, right? So to print the values of this person, I need to do some changes in our person class, and here I will generate a toString method. So now we have a toString method in our person class, and I will execute the code. So now it's printing the values of the object, right? So in our person class we have a toString method, but the person record, it provided by default for us, so we don't need to do any change here. Now let's go in our main class, and I want to print the system.out.println. I want to print the name attribute of this person. So if I want to do like get name, so we don't have anything here. So for that I want to do some changes here, and I will create the getters for both attributes, and I will say generate getter, and now we have a get name and get age. So if I come here, and I will say dot get name, and it will print the name of the person, and I just to make it clear, I will append this string here, right? Now for the record, if I do system.out.println, and I will say name in record, and if I do the person record dot name, so now I will execute the code. So this name is from person class, like we did the person1 dot get name, and here we have name in record Mike, so person record dot name. Okay, it's printing like this way. And if we come here, so we have generated the getters for this person class, right? But we didn't do anything same like in the record. So the getters are provided by default by the record. Now let's go here and for example, if I have one more object of this person class, I will say person 2, and here I will say new is equal to person, and now the name will be same like the, now the values will be same like the before. Okay, and here I will create another object for the person record. Okay, and I will say person record 2, and we will give the values same like Mike and 35. Okay, and now I want to compare the both object like person 1 and person 2. So here I will say system dot out dot println, and I will say person 1 dot equals and person 2. Okay, so I want to see whether the both objects are same or not, because they hold the same values, right? And same we will do it in the for the record. So here if I do for the record, and here I will pass person record 1 and person record 2. Okay, and here I will just for the clarification I will say class equal. Okay, and we will append this string, and here I will say whether it is equal in record or no. And now I will execute the code. So for the class, if you see, we are getting false, but for the record we are getting the true. Whether the for the class the both objects hold the same value called John 32 and John 32. Also for the record we have same values for both objects, right? And it giving us the true. I will add a one separator here to divide the code between the that we are doing for the class and record, and I will say here just to make it clear, and I will say divide something like, right, to have more clear code. And now I will print the hash code for our object. So I will say hash code, and I will do a person 1 dot hash code. I will copy paste this one, and I will do hash code for person 2, and now I will copy the both these lines, and here I will say person record 1 and person record 2. So now I will execute the code. So if you see, for class we have the hash code for object 1, this one, and hash code are different. So both hash code are different whether, although they hold the same data. Okay, the both objects hold the same data. And if you see here, the hash code for our record are same. Okay, to solve this problem, this one and this equal problem and this one, we need two more methods in our person class, and we will generate these methods, and these methods are equal and hash code. So the equal method compare the both objects, and if the both objects hold the same data, then it will not generate the new object. Okay, otherwise it will generate the new object in the memory, and the hash code will return the hash of the object on the basis of attributes called name and age. Okay, and now if you go here and in our main class and execute the code, right, and I will make it bigger. So if you see now, our equal returns the true, and the hash code are same. Okay, for our class objects, and here it is same for the records. So if you go in our record, we didn't add any equal and hash code method, right? But in our person class we generate equal and hash code method. And now let's discuss one more difference here, and for that I will create a method called public, and this will be void, and here I will say change age, and here I will pass the updated age, and I will change the age equal to updated age. Okay, and now if I go in our main class, and here I will call this method for person1, I will say person dot change age, and here I will pass the age 50. And now if I print this object, I will say system dot out dot println, and I will say person1 updated age, and here I will say person1. Now if I execute the code, let's make it grow, and here if you see, before its age was 32, but person1 updated age is now 50, so we are able to change its age. This is because the our class is mutable. Okay, and to make it immutable, we need to go in our person class and make these variables final. Okay, once we make it final, now if we go here, and if now we are getting the error here that cannot assign a value to a final variable age. Now I have to comment out this method, and now if I go in the main class, so now we are not able to change the age, and I will comment this one also, and here I will comment this one also. Okay, so now we have make our class immutable, so we cannot able to change the age. And now if I come here in person record, and I will copy this method from here, and if I try to put this method in our record, so it gives me the error that cannot assign a value to a final variable age. So these variables, these attributes are final by default by in the record. So I will remove this method from here, and now if I go in our person class, so if you see this 42 lines of code we have done for the only two variables like name and age is equivalent to the single line of code in record. So this is the big difference between classes and record. Okay, that record minimize so much boilerplate code for the developers and make developer life easy. We have now around 42 lines of code for only two attributes, and to make this class immutable, but this can be done by a single line of code with the help of record for two attributes. Now just think of it. For example, this person class has more attributes. For example, phone number, weight, address, last name, etc. Right? And we have more attributes, around like 10 or 15 attributes. Then we have to do so much code for it. For example, to pass all these attributes in a constructor, to pass all these variables in a toString method, create getters for each attribute. Then we have to take care for all these attributes in an equal method, and also hash code method, right? And for the mistake for the developer will be also be increased. So to overcome all these problems, we have a record. Records are best to use when you model the data, not behavior. That is, to create a data record object, for example DTOs. So the records are best to use when you create DTOs. For example, we have person record, vehicle record, employee record. And the employee record, we have all the information about the employees, that is his ID, name, address, and phone. But in our dog class, if you see, we have information about the dog like name, color, and breed, but we also define the behavior like how dog bark, how dog eat, how dog sleep. So when you need to define the behavior of an object, go with the classes. But when you need to define only the record or only about the information about the object, then go with the records. So this is the major difference between record and classes. And I have one more video about records in which I discuss about all the features of the record, and you can find the link in a comment section. And if you have any confusion, you can comment in the comment section. Kindly subscribe my channel, click on the bell icon. See you in the next video.